The Caves of Chaos are crawling with monsters, goblins, kobolds, cultists, but no real story. Why are they all there and how do we make them feel more alive, instead of all just random encounters? In this guide I'll show you how to turn that chaos into a connected story, linking factions, weaving motives, and giving your players a reason to care about every fight. Because I help DMs get better, prep faster and tell epic stories. The cave systems here echo many an underground dungeon in D&D, but they aren't all linked by tunnels. Some are. The way that it's set up, you might imagine that the lowest levels are all level 1, and as they climb up the cliffs it's level 2 and level 3. So that the players know if you go top level it's higher challenge. But that's not how it's laid out. Instead, level 1 characters can wander straight into a level 3 encounter. But I'm on the fence about it because that could be a good lesson that D&D is an open world and you have to pick your fights and pick when to run away. The worlds aren't always fair like in a video game. If you're new, you will probably just run it as it is written. And you would be forgiven for doing that, thinking that the writers know better. There's really no correct way to reorganise these caves to benefit the players themselves. But having, as I said, tiers of cave challenge might be the way to go, so all the first levels are on the same bottom floor. Okay, so I'm going to go through the caves as they are written, and then circle back with extra ideas to improve things. Reaching these caves, the environment itself could give clues that this could be tricky. Dense forests and gnarled trees gives way to this rocky plateau with a lot of bone fragments lying around. It is known that monsters use these caves, but also a cult of chaos practice their necromancy here. Let's get on with Cave A. The darkness of Cave A's entrance projects a noise of quabbling kobolds that's overlaid with a bestial squeal. All of this is draconic in nature. So it's a 20-foot walk down the first tunnel, and there's a pit trap immediately covered with a large dirty cloth. The 10-foot fall gives you 1d6 bludgeoning damage. It's easy enough to climb out of using the handholds and roots coming out of the floor. But a kobold will walk over and peer down into the hole, asking what they want. This kobold can be persuaded to allow them to roam around the cave, but he will warn of the many legs to the west. If things go wrong here, the kobolds will go and get backup from 5 kobolds in the common area. 3. 2 giant centipedes live here, and dealing with them will win favour with the kobolds. It's a pretty straightforward fight really. Area 4. The kobolds in this area are having a discussion about whether to keep a dragon wormling that's hatched. They stole the egg. Should they raise it or should they take it back to the nest? There's a junk pile here that can be explored, and it holds 25 gold pieces and a magic item. But the kobolds will not just want players rooting through this stuff. Area 5. 2 kobolds push scattered coins towards this broken egg with a wormling. It's a copper dragon wormling. Now this room holds sacks of dried goods, grains, vegetables in crates maybe. The dragon is really crying for comfort. This presents a chance for the party to comfort the wormling. Giving it some gold would allow advantage on trying to calm it. The dragon itself is like a child, asking, should I stay here or should I try and find my way home to the nest, do you think? Who knows what they'll say, but temptation to steal from the dragon horde might be too much. I would describe a magic item that the player has perhaps pre-chosen, sticking out of the horde so that they want to have it. Because if a fight breaks out, it's more interesting. Copper Dragon Wormling, AC 16, health of 22 average, blind sight, acid breath, DC 11, doing 18 acid, or slowing breath, con save, DC 11. You're slowed. You got a half a speed and have to choose whether to take an action or a bonus action until the end of its next turn. And that's essentially that. Cave B. The sound of trickling water is heard at the entrance. It's dark inside, and straight ahead is an arrow slit, which exudes a steam breath, followed by a little chuckle. It's like a steamy whistle comes out of this hole. And if anyone goes to check on what made it, The steam Mephit there pretends it didn't do it. This steam Mephit will try to lead the party into the far west room, where they will be ambushed by Kuatoa. Steam Mephit is AC 10, 17 health, and they fly. Because they're made of steam, attacks against them have disadvantage. They also explode when they die, love that. Dex save of 10, or 2d4 fire damage. They claw at you for +2, just doing 2 slashing, 2 fire damage. The steam breath that they did to do the crack, 15-foot cone, 5 fire damage, and your speed is decreased by 10 feet. They're just a nuisance. 5, a broken fountain is the source of the water. Another fight, or just another backup for later. I seem to have lost the footage for this next 2 rooms. Area 6. There's a lot of rotten, mouldy beds in here from a time long gone. There's 2 Kuatoa marauders scribbling what seems to be gibberish, but it's probably to a Kuatoa god, on the walls, and they will turn and fight the humans because they want to catch them and put them in the prison cells. Area 7 is where this broken fountain pours out its water from an underground spring. It's nice and warm. There's a steam Mephit who seems to be just watching the water materialise. Will be indifferent, but can be made to fight. 8, a dusty vault holds 2 chests. One has 150 gold in it and a magic item, and the other attacks when you touch it. Yes, it's a mimic. Mimics AC 12, an average health of 50. They only move 20 foot at a time, but they're sticky. Basically grapples anything that touches it. So if they hit it, they stick to it. And it'll bite you for +5. Advantage to who it's stuck to. 7 piercing average, or 12 piercing if it's grappled by the mimic. Plus the 4 acid damage. It'll lash out at you for 7 bludgeoning and 4 acid, and grapple you if you haven't got yourself grappled already. They're just sticky and fun. Cave C. This location's entrance has strange arcane writings all round the door, but they're unfinished. Inside, the sound of scuttling echoes out. The cave is completely dark too. Area 2. An examination of this room will show that a ritual was done using black candles and chalk symbols on the floor. But something went wrong. What was created? Well, an evil wizard was trying to do experiments and turned itself into a Nothic after the things went wrong. 3. A mouldy library with books on alchemy, geometry and metallurgy stinks foul. There's a table in the corner that holds a prominent book open, which describes an evil item called the Chaos Bell, which wakes the dead. The book says it can be destroyed by submerging the bell in a sacred spring, and luckily there's one in the wilderness. In Area 4, there's a carrion crawler on the roof, and it's hungry. AC 13, average health 51, can climb on different surfaces. It'll bite you for +5, 7 piercing and 3 poison, and has paralysing tentacles. You're poisoned. And while you're poisoned, you're paralysed. Now the wizard Nothic thing is meant to be scared of this carrion crawler. Area 5, inside the Nothic's laboratory, are work tables with all manner of chemicals and apparatus. The Nothic speaks Undercommon, but asks for help. Will the players bother to communicate with it? If they don't, an animated sword steps in first. Animated flying sword, AC 12, health 14, flies 50 feet. It'll slash at you for +4, doing 6 slashing. I do like a Nothic as well. AC 15, health 45. Has true sight, so can see you if you're invisible. Makes 2 claw attacks, +5, 8 slashing damage. Does it a rotting gaze with its eye. DC 13 con save, 17 necrotic damage. And as a bonus action, weird insight, it can learn a secret about the PC. But if all is friendly, the Nothic asks for the carrion crawler to be dealt with, which they might already have done before they entered the room, of course. The reward is the treasure in the next room. Oh, there's also a key on a table, which they have to spot. That is a key to the storage room, which is also up ahead. Area 6. Prison cells with a rotting dwarf, who died at the hands of the Nothic, also holds a magic item and 60 gold pieces, which the dwarf was carrying. But which magic item will it be? You can pre-choose, you can roll, whatever's easiest. Now these caves are ridiculously full of magic items. Feel free to dial that down. This is not the normal case, and it's a bad precedent to set for level 1 to 3 characters. Area 7, the key is to this door. Inside a chest, there's another magic item. If there's a moment to include the Scroll of Fireball in the magic item list, this is probably it. There's a Nothic, used to be a wizard, makes sense. In Cave D, crude paintings of goblins in party hats with the words Happy Birthday daubed on the entrance. A horrid racket of goblins singing and laughing hits the ears. Area 2. A dwarf called Vinx is tied up here, among some barrels. Vinx is after a stolen tapestry, but she was overwhelmed on her own and captured. Vinx will offer a reward for bringing this tapestry back to her, if the scenario is that they don't trust her and won't untie her. Now the barrels behind her hold crooked spears. They look bad and uninviting, but Vinx stashed a magic item in one of the bottom of the barrels. Now Vinx can also fight and accompany the party to get the tapestry. She's only really used in this cave and then she can go. Area 3. Dirty bedding and tables scatter this room with some badly wrapped presents in. A bag of teeth, a smelly mushroom, and pre-chewed meat. It also looks like a birthday cake was professionally made and then bitten into a bit and dropped on the floor. Area 4. This room was for rowdy goblin warriors, whooping and cheering around their goblin boss. He wears a party hat and a kazoo and sits on a cushion on top of what looks to be a folded tapestry. The PCs were not invited to this party, but if they're quick thinking, they will give a birthday gift or join in the festivities before stealing that tapestry back. Area 5, there's a huge webbed area, so a giant spider isn't surprising at all. They might think this tunnel is hiding something, and it is. It's a secret door to Cave E, which is the next cave we're going to look at. This is an ogre cave. Oh, and a dragon. There's also a door directly to Cave F with hobgoblins. Cave E. A rotting carcass lies at the entrance to Cave E, and there's many more half-eaten and some charred bits of meat dotted through the cave. It's dim light from the outside, it's not that big an area. Inspecting the carcass will trigger a trap though. It's a snare which hoists up the investigator, alerting an ogre to come and see what it's caught. Area 2. Ugdug lies comfortably on bearskins. He is a mercenary for hire actually. He charges 25 gold pieces for your first time job and 50 gold pieces after that. But he will aid this party fighting in any of the caves except the Shunned caves or the shrine, which are the ones with the cultists in. Ogre is AC 11, 68 health, large. With his great club does +6, 13 bludgeoning average, and he's a bit of a brute. I like to swap out the javelin for just huge rocks that he finds on the floor. +6, 11 bludgeoning or whatever. In Area 3, up on a perch, you've got a red dragon wormling. All the better to breath attack you. Cindertooth will scold the trespassers, then demand 10 gold pieces each to add to his hoard, which has about 50 gold pieces in so far and a magic item. Hopefully ones that the players seek. The red dragon wormling is AC 17 and 75 average health, can fly 60 feet, you'd know outrunning that. Speaks Draconic, makes 2 rend attacks for 9 average slashing and 3 average fire, then it's fire breath, dex save of 13, 15 foot cone, 24 fire damage. Interestingly, it suggests that Ugdug could be persuaded to attack the fire dragon. He's a mercenary, anything for money. Okay, Cave F. Bleached skulls line niches at the entrance, where a large iron door has a sign that reads, "Come in, we'd like to have you for dinner." Area 1 is a red-orange hobgoblin standing behind a barricade and asks what business the party has, warning of 30 other hobgoblins further in the cave. I'd have this sentry scarred and bandaged to hint at the fact that they've just recently been heavily hit in a battle. Now the party can come up with some good reason to be here, then they'll be forewarned of the ooze what's rolling around. The immediate hall also leads to Cave D, the Goblin Lair. Anyway, this hobgoblin sentry can use a horn to call back up. Area 2, this gelatinous cube rolls around. AC 6, hit points 63 average. It will hit you for 12 acid damage. If it moves onto you, it's 10 acid damage and you're engulfed, suffocating, burning, restrained. Not a good time. Area 3 is a mess hall, also blocked by a barricade to keep the ooze out. It holds nothing significant, unless you want to pop some diners in here, having some food. Area 4. 12 beds are tightly packed here and only 4 are unmade. There's a Hobgoblin warrior here who will guard a strong box and will fight them to protect that treasure, which is 75 gold pieces worth of furs. And also a pouch with 20 gold pieces in it. And a magic item. Area 5. 2 Hobgoblins fire arrows at targets and will turn and attack the party. Why are these Hobgoblins here? Who were they battling? I quite like the idea that they were fighting Ogdug, the Ogre. In Cave G, people know the cave has an owlbear nest in it, and so they avoid the place generally. Bones marked with beak strikes litter the entrance, and are probably strewn inside. Now in Area 2, a shallow pool drips here, and there's a shiny goblet at the bottom, and a magic item. Probably another shiny thing, if you're clever. Now sludge on the bottom of the pool turns out to be 2 grey ooze globs, which attack, obviously. It seems odd that they haven't attacked the treasure, but there you go. Area 3. A small squeeze through a crack reveals an adventurer who seems to have died from owlbear wounds. If this owlbear starts attacking, have somebody roll perception to see this little protection cave. Area 4 is a stinky pile of rotting carcasses and poop. A bit pointless, really. 5. Beyond the owlbear and its nest, and 10 feet above, is a higher corridor built by humanoids. But the owlbear needs sorting out first. An owlbear is AC 13, health of 59 average, rend you for +7, 14 slashing on average. Twice. Area 6. Following this corridor will take them to Area K, the Cult of Chaos's shrine. I like that these areas are connected. Now the cult barracks has 4 cultists, relaxing in a room with beds and a single table. Horrific tapestries cover the stone walls. These guys attack anyone not in cult robes, unless they have some good deceiving to be done straight away. Now there's some footlockers in here with about 5 gold pieces in each one, along with cult robes they can now don. I like to put items like letters from loved ones and photographs in these kind of lockboxes, or even chanting words that they have to learn on a piece of paper, or dark prayers. Area 7. Stairs down to a large, dank crypt. Leads to a fallen cult leader in a sarcophagus. This is a white life drinker. What the hell's that? AC 14. Her average health of 82. Looks awesome. Makes 2 attacks. Either a necrotic sword, +4, 6 slashing, 4 necrotic. Necrotic bow, +4, 6 piercing, 4 necrotic. Drink life. Con save of 13. 6 necrotic damage, and the white regains that health. There's also a magic item here because of course there is. Cave H and I are linked, so be aware of what's in both. But there's a secret door attached to them both, so you might be okay. The bugbears have dark vision, so there is no light. Number 1, there's a noise of a gruff argument, but it cannot be understood from where you are. 2, 2 bugbears squabble about attacking the keep. Shall we do it stealthy or shall we go in all guns blazing? They sit on log stumps around a table that has a map of the Borderlands on. Could this be the map that Dwern has them try to finish for him from the keep? Bugbear Warriors, AC 14, health 33. Grab attack +4 for 9 bludgeoning, and grapples you. Has a light hammer, +4 for 9 bludgeoning. In 3, 2 Goblin Warriors stand guard, and will run up the steps to activate a rolling log that does 2d6 damage. In Area 4 is a trophy room of stuffed heads, including humanoids, and a pile of skulls, and in one of the skulls there's a purse with 10 gold pieces. In Area 5, a Bugbear Warrior skulls 2 goblins for sleeping on the job. They resent being shouted at. While these three will attack, you can have the Bugbear command the goblins, and have the goblins mouth off about being commanded. This will hint that the goblins could be turned against the Bugbear for some coin. Now the goblins might tell of a secret back door. There's also a magic item among some furs on the floor, plus 25 gold pieces. Area 6 is where the Bugbear boss lives. There's a pile of furs and a bed and another 25 gold pieces. Plus another magic item, my god. Because it's been ages since they had one of those. Cave I, another unlit cave. Possibly entered from different access points. Number 1, bones litter the cave mouth. In fact, the dirt floor could well have various bones embedded in it. It should also have hoof prints. Area 2, 3 sturges will drop down on you. Suck your blood. Especially if they bring bright light in. You could have all the 3 sturges pick on the biggest PC blood sack. Now Area 3 has 2 fire beetles emitting a glow as they search for grubs. They are indifferent, but can be startled. Now you can also tame these beetles with your own light. There's a stamping noise across the cave. Maybe you could have a fire beetle wander halfway over, shining a light on this real threat. Area 4, the Minotaur, sharpens its horns on one of the columns and then charges at the party. Running would be a good idea. Minotaur of Baphomet, AC 14, 85 health, speed 40 feet. With its abyssal glaive, it's a reach of 10 feet, plus 6 to hit you, 10 slashing, 10 necrotic, average. It'll gore you if it runs at you, plus 6, 18 piercing damage. If it did run at you, it gets an extra 3d6 piercing and knocks you on your butt. Area 5, behind a secret door, there's a chest left by bandits who previously occupied this cave. Until the Minotaur killed them. That's probably what all the jawbones are sticking out of the floor. Now this chest has 120 gold pieces, and also, guess what? A magic item. Fair enough, they probably earned this one. Now the way I'm doing this is to make a video to watch before you run it. So you probably read it, and then you watch this and you get it into your head a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. It's to speed up prep. At the end of this video, I will give additional ideas. So stay watching. Cave J. This unlit shrine ushers bestial Gnoll laughter. Walking into Area 1, they'll see a wooden door. Slightly open. Open enough to balance metal scraps on top as some sort of alarm. Clever girl. And when that goes off, 4 Gnoll warriors will race to attack you. Gnoll, AC 15, 27 average health. Rend is plus 4 for 5 average piercing, and the Bone Bow is plus 3 for 6 piercing. Once a day it can rampage. Immediately after doing damage to a creature that is half health, the Gnoll can move up to half its speed and make another rend attack. And with 4 Gnolls immediately present, that could be painful. So in Area 2, junk from the shrine is piled high here. And you could put a Bugbear behind this pile, searching through it for goods. Area 3, this old chapel has 2 of the 4 goblins who could potentially run at you, sniffing at the walls for secret areas. Now if trouble gets the best of them, one of the Gnolls might kind of surrender, expressing that they think a treasure is here. Area 4, 2 more Gnolls pace the area across from a dais, with a tiled devil face, which has a long red lolling tongue onto the floor. This whole tile thing is an illusion. You can walk right through it. Now the Gnolls are not clever enough to have realised this. I'd allow a roll to determine that the tile wall is in fact an illusion. Area 5, there's 4 zombies burst out of a sarcophagus in each corner, and there's a treasure chest occupying this room that has a large gem inside. Plus, you guessed it, a magic item. Now with no long rests being allowed out of the keep, and that's only in this set, bizarre little rule, it's intended that they travel forwards and backwards to rest. And if they are injured, they won't want combat on the way after a fight, but also if they're returning to a specific fight, they don't want to be weakened on the way either. I suggest you let the dice decide. Roll a d20, 18, 19 or 20, they have a mid-road combat. They can run away, That could turn it into a fun chase scene. Finally, Cave K. Thanks to you for reaching this far in the video. This stuff takes time, you know, and I have to write it. So this is the hub of the Cult of Chaos. You can add extra cultist members or undead if you want this to be real climactic. Area 1, on entering the caves, make the PCs feel that unease. Shadows play tricks on the eyes. And the first thing they see is red torchlights shining down on a rotting ogre. This is an ogre zombie, and this was Zerf, Ogdug's brother, now reanimated. Now if the PCs wear those red robes, they can actually just saunter past. Area 3 is a domed room where cultists performed twisted ceremonies. You can have one active right now. Everyone turns to look at the players entering. Maybe they are eating a person who's still alive tied to a table. You've got to have a hobby. Area 4. 4 zombies shamble mindlessly, awaiting command. They obey a cult member that they recognise, not just anyone wearing cult robes. Area 5. Chanting comes from a room where the chaos bell hangs. Piles of bones line one wall, and 3 altars stand in front of 5 chairs on a raised dais. Now one cultist flicks blood on the bone piles, and if Narthus, assistant to Ivlis, rings the bell, these bone piles animate as skeletons. Remember, the bell can only be destroyed by being submerged in the sacred spring. Narthus is AC 13, 22 average health, multi-attacks with a vile mace +4, 5 bludgeoning and 3 necrotic, or a fearful bolt +4, 8 necrotic, and the next attack roll made against the target before the end of Narthus's turn has advantage. 6 is a waiting room and initiation area. It has a low table, probably with unrecognisable pieces of flesh on and a sacrificial knife there for when new members join. In 7, Ivlis, the cult leader, kneels in front of a hanging, decapitated demon head and seemingly was just talking to it before you entered. Ivlis values her life, so offers untold power and riches if they submit to the cult and become undead. She will fight until she needs to try to escape and uses the secret doors to flee to fight another day. Ivlis, AC 13, 55 health, multi-attack, 3 chaotic blasts, or you can swap one out. Chaos blast +4, 60 foot range, does 6 average damage. Roll or d4 to determine the damage type. Pick the damage that the player will take. Sinister Command is a wisdom saving throw DC 12. The target can be charmed. While charmed, the target has the incapacitated condition. Look it up. So the demon head covers a hole which holds 100 gold pieces, a red gem, and 2 magic items. This secret room has a black iron chest which drops 300 gold pieces. But it's all fake money, so still actually useful if they're dishonest. Now to over-deliver. Yes, you've earned it because you subscribed. So our list of inhabitants basically boils down to a wizard turned into a Nothic, an ogre for hire, weakened hobgoblins, plus your bugbears and your goblins, a big minotaur, and the cult with counterfeit coins. The cult have people on the inside, at the keep I mean, especially the guards, who are easily corrupted by the idea of power, I imagine. Now the wizard could have been a former cult leader, but he messed himself up when he turned into a Nothic. Ivlis's demon head could have been a Lord General of Baphomet, who the Minotaur worships. Don't forget we have Jacko, that assassin, out in the wilds. He could be anywhere being hired by anyone. So I'm going to try and join some dots up now. So long ago, an ancient cult built this shrine of evil chaos at the heart of these hills. This temple was used to try and summon a fragment of their dark god into this world. And recently this cult has returned to try and do something again with this chaos bell. Maybe they command some of these monsters in these caves to make an attack on the keep and take over the keep. Perhaps that's what they're after. Cave A, the Kobold Lair, they stole that dragon egg, thinking they could sell it for gold. Then obviously it hatched and it became a copper wormling. What they don't know is that the cult wanted that egg. They claimed it was tainted by divine fire or something. Now the wormling's screams are filling these caves. And you could have a scene where the cult's trying to reclaim this egg and the fight breaks out. But it just hints at a deeper involvement. Dragon blood may be important in the ritual perhaps. Cave B, the Mephit lair. The flooding here isn't natural. Elemental tears are opening in the rock. And like magic's leaking in that summons Mephits. The rifts could be caused by the cult's experiments. Early tests for the summoning in their shrine. If the players get some sort of shards out of the Mephit lair's water, they might notice that in the shrine that also is embedded into the walls here, this crystal with some sort of elemental steam power. C is the Nothic lair, once a wizard's laboratory, and in this Nothic's notes and broken maps are the hints that all these caves are somehow or used to be connected. And on one page, scrawled in some ink, it says, "The 11 mouths of the abyss must open as one." And this could lead you on to play Out of the Abyss module. Cave D is the Goblin lair. Goblins are throwing a chaotic party. They've just been promised power and territory by the priests of the Red Hand. They don't know who the priests serve, but you might. These goblins probably want to raid the keep also. Cave E is the Ogre's lair. He's a bit of a floating NPC. You can use him as an enemy or use him as an ally. But his brother is undead now. You can either play him that he wants to join his brother with the cult, or he wants to kill the cult because of his brother. Cave F, the Hobgoblin lair. So these hobgoblins are organised. They're an army in waiting. I know they're reduced in numbers, but they're still strong. Perhaps they've been armed with cursed weapons that burn with some sort of unnatural rage. Cave G, the Shunned cave. We've got an owlbear, who perhaps is not an ordinary beast. It was once the guardian of the shrine, warped by chaotic energy inside. You could have this owlbear roaring in sync with the chanting that they do. Perhaps that's the result of some dark magic. And you can take the owlbear stats, twist them into some sort of shape changing, almost like a werewolf, but it changes forms into something terrible. Cave H, the Bugbear lair. The bugbears could be being paid by the cult to cut off supplies to the keep, with raids and stuff. The Minotaur has some link to that demon head of Ivlis. Perhaps he's half insane and is just waiting command from the leader, who is actually now just a head. The Gnolls will just love slaughter. Anything that dies, they're in agreement with. Just have the Gnolls come in when anyone's having a big fight. Sort of be a third side, have a bit of a Mexican standoff. They just like carnage. And Cave K, the Shrine of Evil Chaos. There's a ritual going on. They need these little water crystals, they need a dragon egg, they need cursed weapons, all the pieces of the puzzles throughout the other bits of cave. The goal is to open a rift, to unleash the avatar of chaos into the mortal world. They need blood from a copper dragon, or a minotaur. Anything that has a ritual where it creates some final abomination. As an afterthought, the D&D crew apparently released a little bit of a blog after the fact to try and tie these things together. I've not looked at it, but let's look at it now. So yes, behind the screen, tips for running Heroes of the Borderlands. What's it got to say? Threading together the story. 3 books. Inspired by Keep on the Borderlands. Start with the Wilderness book. Run some of the random encounters. The looted wagon, the game trail, the bandit ambush. After these encounters, characters arrive at the keep where they are intercepted by Bartho and Gala, and then told to lend their services to the keep and to report to the Castellan. If they aren't sure where to go, send them to the tavern for a warm meal and maybe a rumour. They can then reunite with Haldrick at the Traveller's Inn and get some rest. As the characters interact with the inhabitants of the keep, use each NPC's rumours to pique the player's interest along the way. Through social interaction with these citizens and keep-based quests, you can determine what motivates each player character, gold, glory, and they meet Winval, who tells them about the Caves of Chaos. Go to the Caves of Chaos. The characters gain levels by completing caves. They learn about the forces of chaos that operate within. The dreaded Chaos Bell. The Iron Tome in the Library Cave C Nothic Lair describes the Chaos Bell, yes. Ogdug the Mercenary might tell about the Chaos Cult if they ask about his off-limit caves. Ogdug's brother was killed by the Owl Bear in the Shunned Caves, and then reanimated by cultists to serve as a bodyguard. Two other options. Vinx and the Hobgoblins can also mention the Cult of Chaos. Keep in mind the players don't have to visit every cave, kill every creature, or loot everything everywhere. Move back and forth between the caves, the keep, and the wilderness. You can use the random encounters provided in the woods encounter table. They can bump into the occult ritual in the woods, and learn that the previous priest of the keep left under mysterious circumstances. Eventually you confront the cult, and then you destroy the Chaos Bell, and then hurrah, big celebration at the end. It's a living sandbox with pre-made characters and a quest for glory. Very much an afterthought from Wizards of the Coast. But hopefully I've helped with this guide, and I do more guides, and I'll have more guides coming in the future. Let me know what you did, how it went, and I'll see you in the next video.